All right. Let's get to the nitty gritty, man. Let's get this video in and out the way. I want to share with you guys Turo. I normally talk real estate, but this is also, we're going to talk business. Let's talk about how I turned a liability into an asset. So let's get into it. What's going on, everybody out there in YouTube world, YouTube land? I am Real Estate Jay. I'm back on my coffee kick today, and I'm going to show you a video. After the video, let's get back into this one, all right? All right, so I'm gonna actually share the story about how this is a business for me and how we're selling it and making a profit. And now my neighbors can stop looking at me like I'm crazy because I do have 4 cars. That's actually my 9-to-5 car. And then I'm gonna show you how I used this car to pay for that car. And then this one holds sentimental value. So this car right here, we actually drove it personally for 1 year, then put it on Turo for 2 years. So we didn't have to pay a car note at all once we put it on Turo. And then the extras from this paid for that. And then now this week we're actually selling this car. So the exit strategy is to sell, or the rent it out and then sell it. Now we're gonna make a lump sum cash, positive equity. So this has been actually an asset. So I turned a liability into an asset, and then now we're gonna sell it and figure out what we're gonna do with that money. There's always a reason and a business perspective behind it. See y'all at work. All right, cool. So let's break this video down very, very quickly. I'm gonna talk about how I turned a liability into an asset, right? So long story short, I had a 2005 Chevy Tahoe. I love that car. If you guys know about the Tahoe Z71 and that year with the Vortex engine, comment below. Just a reliable car. I loved it. Comment below through the entire video, by the way, not just that one. But anyways, car was getting up there in mileage, so I decided to buy my wife a car, right? I don't always recommend new cars, by the way. So bought her a car. We drove this car personally for 1 year. After a while, I got tired of paying a car note. After you pay 3-4 months of a car note, you look at that car a little bit different, and it's not as cute as it was when you first bought it. So, business was doing well. So I already had the Durango kind of taken care of, and we had to get a bigger car. So I said, you know what? I told my wife, I'm putting this car on Turo. I've been talking about Turo for like a year and a half, and this was my opportunity. And so I did my research and I put it on there. So that's how I turned the liability into an asset, because I started to make money. So now let's talk about Turo itself, okay? Now, let's talk about the support end of things. If I think Turo is a good idea or not, and then just my take on it. So from the support end of things, Turo, I would give it an A. And when I say support, I mean if you had issues with your driver, any issues with, like, say, a recall or getting your vehicle listed, I give them an A. They were great, okay? Very, very informative. So let's just say, your vehicle gets unlisted for my example, there was a recall on that Kia Sportage. It was regarding some type of tow hitch. I don't even have it on my car, but it got unlisted because it was a part of that whole manufacturer. So I showed them, hey, I had to go to my manufacturer, show them the paperwork, and then show them I didn't have a hitch, and they listed my car right back immediately. I had to get an inspection on my car. It got past the inspection date. Car got unlisted. Soon as I showed them that I did the inspection, they relisted my car immediately. So no problems there. If there was ever any incidentals, say someone brings back a car, the gas isn't where it's supposed to be, or they bring it back super late, you could show them that, report the incidental right on the app, and then you get paid. So the support end of things, I give it an A. It was just great. It was no hassles, no problems, no delays when it came to that. Because when you're dealing with issues in business, I mean, you want them resolved pretty quickly. And I think Turo does a great job there. When it comes to the money, the most important thing, Turo was a 70-30 split. So that's usually what people do. You can do other plans. That 30%, if I'm not mistaken, is kind of like the insurance part of it, and also what Turo takes for their piece. And I think they even offer like roadside assistance as well. So from the money part of it, no problems there. Okay, money came in on time. They tell you it takes 1 to 3 business days for it to hit your account. Usually it would come in like 1 to 2 business days. I never had to call them and ask them, where's the money? Why didn't this come? It was just automatic, right? So that part right there, short and sweet, no issues, right? And I was able to cash flow this car a few months. Some months I did break even. Let's be real. Some months I did break even, but I didn't have to pay the car note. So that was great. So as far as Turo's part of the money, you don't got to worry about it. Sign up for the 70/30 plan. It works just as well. I will say, as far as the car part of it, I had an economy car, right? And I've had people book 2 and 3 times. And the reason why they've rented out was they said, man, I love this car. It's great on gas. I've got a gas guzzler, whether it's in the shop or whatever. I'm going on a trip. And I love these economy cars, what they would say, because the gas was great and the car ran well. So I think if you do want to do it, go for a car that's good on gas, right? Like a Jeep Compass, Jeep Patriot, a Kia Sportage, Focus, things like that. Because if you go with like a Dodge Charger, or because if I get a Dodge Charger and I'm driving it on Turo, I'm dogging it out. Oh yeah, I'm pushing that thing to the limit, because there's something about a Dodge car that just says, push me, because and if you got to give it back, just push me and give it back, dog it out and give it back to the owner, right? This is how it is. Now, when you drive a Chevy, it's a little bit different, right? But that's my car stuff, so I'll digress and get off that. But the economy cars seem to be great. No problem. The thing stayed booked out. People would drive it, from Michigan. I seen from Michigan to Tennessee one time and all that stuff, and they said it was perfect. So I didn't have any issues there. So if you are planning to do it, try to do it with an economy car. I don't really like the car note part of it, though. I will say that. It does bother me knowing that I have a car note on it and then I'm renting it out. Even though the car note was low, I could still rent it out. But I would prefer to buy the car cash and then rent it out, just because it's just lower liability and, whatever. So that's just my 2 cents. So if you are planning on doing it, get an economy car. Don't go out there and try to get a Charger because you want to get a Charger and you just want somebody to pay your car note. Like, don't do that, right? So that's my piece on that. What else I got to say about Turo? I think, so do I recommend Turo for people? I think Turo's a great idea. In this day and age, I think it's awesome to be able to have a car rental business. They have a really great app. I would bring it up, or maybe I'll bring it up, but Turo's really good. So they have like an analytics part of the app, which I think is really cool. So you can find out how much you made that year. Yeah, they have like a business button. And so you can find out like how much you've made in a year. You can start doing a lot of analysis, right? And I got this guy too, by the way, All-Star Host Achieved. So what that does is it actually puts you higher in the algorithm as well. So if you do become an All-Star Host, like you get a nice little tag and a badge next to your name, and it's more like, you're reliable, you're dependable, and then people, they go to you. So Turo made it super easy for you to run that business. I'm not going to lie. The only thing that I had to do with that car was get the oil changed, not once in a while, but, every, few thousand miles, and I cleaned that car. And then I just put it at the drop-off spot. A lot of times I didn't even meet these people. I would tell them to send me their license to my phone number. I would tell them where the key was at. Now I'm in a safe location, right? But they would go pick up the car, bring it back. I look at it, make sure there's no issues, take my pictures, clean it again, drop it off. So it was really good from a time standpoint because I didn't have to spend much time in the car rental business. I just would clean it up and send it back. So I think Turo's good. I think the app is good as well. I think you become an all-star guest like, I'll show you some of this. I can show you this, but my response rate was like 100, so I'm really quick on the response rate. Let's do this. And then you got stuff like that. So like commitment rate, so this is how you get judged on Turo. Completed trips. So I think you got to do like 20 trips, and I think you got to get a certain amount of 5-star ratings. You got to get 90% 5-star ratings, 95 commitment rate, 90% acceptance rate, and then a 95% response rate. So I did aim to be an all-star host, and that happened pretty quickly. So I rented it out for like 2 years, man, and it was cool. So drove it for 1 year, rented it out for 2, made a profit, and then I sold the vehicle, right? So I did end up selling that car, and I made money on it. So it just made it all better at the end of the day. So do I recommend Turo? Absolutely. But I think I recommend Turo with the right plan, okay? I would assess, how much your car note is, if you have one, and how many trips you need to make your car note. And I don't know if I recommend it as if this is your primary car, because I'm in Michigan. So like, we need our car to transport. Now maybe if you're in a different city like a Chicago or places where you can kind of take maybe the bus and the train and all that stuff, I think you can do that. Maybe, but I definitely would look at it. It's a great stream of income. I liked it, and it was easy. When I say it was easy, for me to say it was easy, it just literally was easy. Like, it didn't take much from it. So that's how I turned my liability into an asset. And then again, I sold the car. So I made money, for those 2 years, sold the car on one of the online car dealerships, offered me some good money. And that's how we made that business move work, man. So if you're thinking about Turo, I hope this video helps. Please drop a like and a subscribe, and please leave a comment, man. Let me know how you felt about this video. But like I say, after every video, keep moving, keep learning, and keep growing. I'm going to see y'all at work.